From the George Washington University lacrosse girls team, Miss Jamie Bumgardner joining us. Jamie, thanks for joining us this evening.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Chris.
Oh, it's our pleasure. First of all, I want to talk about your college career. And of course, you went on and you're having a great career at George Washington University, and you've been excelling at the next level. So what's it like to have success at the high school level and then move on and become one of the best girls lacrosse players ever at GW?
It's a pretty surreal feeling. You know, I worked hard in high school. I started in 9th grade, so it was a bit of a battle trying to get to the top. And then getting recruited was a dream come true. I was really honestly just happy to be on the team. And then from there, you know, my dad always told me that I had a lot of potential. So I just kept working. I got a shot at a starting position my sophomore year, and then the rest kind of history.
Yeah, in fact, we're going to take a look at some of your honors in just a moment here. But is there a point in your career when you go, first of all, to play at a Division I school like George Washington in the A-10 and have that kind of success is one thing. But when you start moving up and you start appearing on all-time honors and being ranked in terms of second in terms of goals and assists and 156 career points, what was it like? And when did you know that you were not just having a great career, but you were putting together a very special collegiate career?
Yeah, I never really tried to focus on, you know, the stats or the records because it's a team sport. But I always had my mom and my dad, you know, telling me, James, you got a few more than your 150th. And then, you know, I had the assist record. I think I have about 5 more assists until I get that record. So it's a pretty surreal feeling, honestly, and it's an amazing honor. You know, I played with a couple of girls who have had, you know, really amazing careers at GW, and to be considered, you know, among them is really amazing.
Now, could you talk about your current season? I know you just had a big league win over St. Joe's, and you won 2 of your last 3 games in the A-10. So how has the season been over the last few weeks? It's
been good. You know, we got a new coach this year, so we've been moving in a different direction, but we have just been going up, especially since A-10 season started and conference play started. We're getting more unified. We're finishing plays. We're, you know, connecting from a defensive standpoint and an attack standpoint. Yeah. So it's looking good. We have a big game tomorrow, and we've had a great week of practice, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and that's at your place. People in the D.C. area can check that out, right?
It is, yeah. It's a great rivalry.
You know, you mentioned the A-10, and I had covered the A-10 in multiple sports several years ago. What's it like to play in the A-10? Because that's a competitive league in a lot of different sports, and people may think basketball or different sports, but lacrosse is one of those very competitive sports. And again, we'll take a look at some of your honors in terms of the league, but what's it like to play in the A-10, and who are some of your bitter rivals in the A-10?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to pick out a rival because it's anyone's game, you know. It's whoever shows up, like, at the field that day. So I can't pick a specific rivalry. We've always been trying to get after UMass because they've led the league for the past, you know, 5 or so years. Besides for that, I'd say LaSalle, just because they're the scrappy Philly team. I always have this little thing against them, as well as Richmond. It's been back-to-back. We lost to them our freshman year and then beat them our sophomore year, and probably the best victory of my career, and then lost to them last year. But tomorrow I'm feeling really good about it.
Yeah, and I know the people in Philly don't really like UMass people either, so you're not alone in that.
Yes, exactly.
You've of course excelled off the field as well. You're on the academic dean's list. How tough is that? Because I know how many hours you put in with practicing and games and travel and preparing for games. That's a lot of hours in season. How do you manage that success academically while you're having so much and so busy on the field with lacrosse in season?
Yeah, it's tough, especially my freshman year. Kind of got off to a rocky start. Didn't really know how to balance the lacrosse and the academics, and I was honestly just really lacrosse-minded my freshman year. But after that, I started playing. I kind of relaxed, and I kind of actually just looked forward to my downtime in the library. You know, I knew that I had to put in like 4 hours for chemistry or bio. And then it became an amazing feeling, you know, performing on the field and performing in the classroom. It kind of just brought it all together.
Now, the people watching us in our Delaware Valley region, of course, will remember you had an outstanding scholastic career as well. What was it like playing high school lacrosse? And I know 10 years ago, lacrosse was huge in New Jersey, and it hadn't quite gotten as popular in Pennsylvania. So what was lacrosse like? And do you think it's kind of on the way up, or is it kind of plateauing in terms of popularity?
Oh, no, I think it's going to be a huge sport in about 5 years. And the level of play is really taking off. I saw a couple of summer league tournaments this past summer, just watching the high schoolers play, and their level is just incredible. It's an incredibly fun game as well. You know, it's not tennis, it's not soccer, it's a little bit of everything. It requires an intense amount of athleticism, and it's a fun sport to play, you know. So definitely I think it's an up-and-coming sport, especially in the Philly region, but you're seeing it more so in like the West Coast, and those, you know, the states out there.
Yeah. Finally, I know you're heading into the last few weeks of your regular season, which could mean the end of your collegiate career. But what are your final thoughts as you head into your last few regular season games? And then what opportunities are you looking at after graduation?
Final thoughts, you know, I'm trying to appreciate every moment out there. It gets tough when you think about it being your potentially last few games. So I'm trying to be in the moment. You know, when I step on the field, that's all I think about. And I kind of let the energy take over, my love for the game to take over, and be appreciative of my team and this opportunity and the fact that I'm probably, you know, won't be a part of something like this again. And then after college, it's hard to say. I applied to a few grad schools. Right now I'm planning a big summer Europe trip, so that seems pretty encompassing, but we'll see. We'll see what I hear back from schools.